Welcome everybody to another round of World of Tanks subscriber replays. My name as always is Maxwell, and today's first video is from the user CrabHD. That's CrabHD, and he's driving the T-54 on an encounter battle on Lakeville. T-54 being a tier 9 medium tank for the Russians. Before we get into this video, I just want to give a shout out to the guy featured in this video, CrabHD. He's actually got himself a YouTube channel where he does post World of Tanks content. So if you want to go check out some of his videos, there'll be a link for that in the description. His TOG bridge crossing video is especially good. If you enjoy TOGs and enjoy having a laugh, then I would definitely check out the TOG bridge crossing video. Worth a view. Leave him a comment and a like from me. And if you enjoy his stuff, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. So on to this replay, going to be heading into the town right off the bat. Does spot a T-69 across the way, not quite gotten himself hidden completely behind that rock. Did manage to land two good shots on him there. And now just going to move off as gets himself snugly behind the rock finally. Not able to get anything else on him. Still keeping the gun trained in that location, just in case he makes a mistake, decides to back off or advance. But it looks like those light tanks are trying to work him down now. But Crab's done all he can do, helping out with that. So going to head on through the town. The T-62A going for an early base capture. Obviously doesn't think that the base capture is actually going to work, but just starting that timer so that if the enemy sits there twiddling their thumbs and does nothing, then they are definitely going to lose. A little bit unfortunate, that shot went really high and wide there. Not his fault, that was all down to the gunner in my opinion. But it looks like this WZ is coming flying in just to try and get some eyes on the location. If he's a little bit too quick, maybe he'll be able to just surround him and work him down. But as it is, the heavy tanks arrive. Got to be careful here. This ST1's going to wreck somebody's day if they're not careful. The MX-50B moves in, although he's just going charging in. Can't quite make up his mind on who to shoot at, and gets his mind made up for him by the FV, who hits him for a massive amount of damage and sets him on fire there. So really unlucky by that 50B, but to be honest, you don't get to a tier 10 by playing like that. So the rest of the allies have obviously turned up now, as you saw that Death Star just destroying Alderaan in the form of that AMX-50B there. And everybody going to set up in standard holding positions now. Crab still trying to get a shot on this ST1, but he's been destroyed now. And now there's this IS-8 he's got to duel with. Gets a good shot onto the IS-8, and I think the IS-8 might be firing at someone behind him, or he missed. Gonna definitely have the reload to be able to get a good hit on him. His platoon mate comes in and gets another good hit on this IS-8. Just thinks that he's got the reload to be able to take out this IS-8. Not quite able to finish him off. Crab takes a shot in the face, able to get another one on that IS-8 as well. Just got to play it a little bit carefully here, as they do have two IS-7s in the south there. But gonna come around here and just try and finish off this IS-8. And indeed, he is able to finish him off. Now it's a case of get all the flanking action in the world going, because they've got a light tank, a tank destroyer, and that medium tank in there. So I'm just going to slow this one down a little bit, because it is a pretty fantastic duel. He's going to be dueling with this WZ here. As he comes around, going to try and fend off against the Foch. Decides to hit the E50M in the back, because he's the largest threat, while he's keeping his armor as well angled against the WZ as he can, and using the Foch as cover against the E50M. Going to decide to keep the Foch now as the priority target. Thinks he's probably going to take some damage from that WZ, but then puts the Foch between himself and that WZ, and the Death Star is able to come in and finish off that Foch, and then that just leaves a one-on-one with this WZ-132. A little bit unfortunate, just a bounce to miss that shot, just going over the back of the tank there, and the two of them just going to circle each other round to death now. This WZ's going to have a difficult time trying to penetrate the T-54 because of that lovely sloped armor, and then just going to manhandle him and bully him down. Not quite able to take him out there, but hopefully, well, he's only got 57 hit points left, so a good ram or one more shot will be enough to take him out, and that was an absolute masterful bit of dueling there against 3 tanks, although that E50M didn't really know what hit him. He can't really count him as being part of the duel, but still there was some excellent play in there by Crab, and now it's an opportunity to come down, finish off these IS-7s. The adrenaline obviously still pumping there, because just decides to shoot the wall rather than that IS-7. Now he's going to come all the way around the back of him and just close him down, concentrating obviously on the tanks in front of him, which are much more important. The Death Star team kills a T-62A. That was obviously an accident. And Crab's able to pick up the kill on that IS-7, and that is kill number 3. 4,500 points of damage so far. And that just leaves this Mouse and this T-30. Not really sure where the Mouse is. Oh yes, there he is. He's over there dueling on the far left-hand flank. And a Mouse should be able to hold out against an IS-8 and an IS-7, to be honest, because of the amount of armor that he's got. But Allies, well, I was going to say the Allies going for a stubborn base capture, but it looks like they have abandoned it. Abandoned the base capture to allow these guys an opportunity to take out this Mouse. And the Mouse still concentrating on the 2 ISs in front of him, so he's left all of his rear armor exposed for that Waffenträger E100 and the cannon of Crab here. Able to land 1 good shot on the Mouse. Will he be able to get a second? Indeed he can. Any minute now, that Waffenträger E100 is probably going to be reloaded, although he's kind of blocked the shot here a little bit. But Crab's able to pick him up, and that is kill number 4, and almost 5,500 points of damage. So absolutely excellent replay there from you. Thank you very much for sending that one in. Don't forget, as always, the score screens and another game are coming right up. And our second replay of the day is from the user Big Nathaniel 1998. That's Big Nathaniel 1998, and he's driving the VK2801 on an encounter battle on the Siegfried line. This one had no lead in because pretty sure Nathaniel was DC'd when the game started, and then joined a few seconds into it. I think 15 or 20 seconds he may have lost. So VK2801 is a tier 6 light tank for the Germans. Used to be tier 5 back in the day, but then it got bumped up to tier 6 a few patches ago. Does still have the same kind of loadout. It is a pretty big light tank, as you can see here, up against its counterpart the Leopard. It's considerably larger and considerably chunkier, but it also gets a pretty nice derp cannon. So when you come up into a tier 7 match like we're about to have here, you can really do some damage to people. Not really sure what that Leopard's doing. I think he's trying to set himself up in a side-scraping position. Unfortunately, he's driving a light tank and nothing with any kind of armor. Has a look over to his left because you can spot out a T-43 and that KV-1. Has a shot at the KV-1. As you can see, the derp kind of not quite penetrating and only doing 20 points of damage. Got to be careful here as there's an E2 Sherman in the way. Not really wanting to take this guy on head on, which is definitely not what you want to do in a light tank. You want to take people on from the sides and the rear. Just deciding to drop back. Let the Leopard go first, but it looks like that E2 Sherman's taken out by that Tiger, as the Allied team's already done a pretty good job of flanking around behind people. Spots a Panzer Soufflé, but decides to head into the town instead. There's a KV-1S here. Looks like he's had his shot. So Nathaniel going to poke himself out, going to try and get a hit on this KV-1S, because the KV-1S does have a pretty considerably long reload speed. As you can see, got a good penetrating hit there and caused 300 and some points of damage, which is pretty excellent. Gets another good hit on that KV-1S, and that KV-1S is reeling at the moment, not really sure what's going on, as he's taken a couple of massive hits from a light tank here. Trying to get himself away, not quite able to get a damaging hit that time, which is a little bit unfortunate, but he does get eliminated in the end by that Hummel. And now there's this Panzer Soufflé. He lands one good hit, but gets a good hit in return and gets set on fire. And it looks like he hasn't invested in a fire extinguisher, which means it's just going to... damage is just going to tick and tick and tick. And that was a 669 damage hit there from Nathaniel, all because he didn't buy a 3,000 credit fire extinguisher. Oh, very unfortunate to miss that shot there. So we're going to allow his ally in the T-20 to take the risk. But it looks like that Tiger 1 from earlier is able to take this guy out. So we're going to move off into the town. Going to play a hunter-killer. See who he can uncover and what damage he can get on people. Doesn't look like the enemy team has concentrated too many forces in this town. It being an encounter battle, this is kind of where you want to concentrate your forces. Finds an ELC AMX. Yeah, I thought he would be hiding in the arch. A bit of a weird place for him to be sat. Gets one hit on him, but it's not quite enough to do any super significant damage. But he's just stubbornly going to sit in the archway and get himself killed. I don't think his track was taken out, but he didn't have the traverse on his gun to be able to get on target there. So I don't know why he just sat in the archway and got himself killed. So now going to head over and try and take out the artillery. The T-20's found this M44, leaving him on 6 hit points here. And Nathaniel going to attempt to have a shot at this grill. Unfortunately, that one just about missed. Looks like he is actually hiding pretty successfully behind the hill here. And now he's going to go charging in. Not quite got the gun depression. A little bit unfortunate there. The T-20 did eventually finish off that M44. Gets a good shot on the move on that grill. It looks like somebody's taking his tracks out. Second shot is able to finish him off, and that is kill number 2 now. A Hellcat appears on the crest of the ridge. Decides to come in for the ram for some reason. I think he just saw light tank and thought that he was going to have that one, but definitely not going to have that one, as this thing is pretty weighty, especially compared to a Hellcat, which has no armor and weighs pretty much nothing. So just having a little bit of a troll at each other in the chat there. Enemy team still got 4 tanks left. There he is there. T-25-2 is stuck on the tank tracks. I think he's just resigned to his fate here. He's not really attempting to fight back. Got his gun pointed down at the ground. I think he's just going to accept his shame that he got himself stuck on the tank trap, so he deserves his fate here. Doing the honourable thing of just allowing himself to be killed. Going to focus in, maybe try and take out his ammo rack. Does get a good penetrating hit. And it looks like that Leopard going to come in and take the glory on that one. And that just leaves this E8 Sherman, but I don't think they're going to be able to find it because the rest of the team going for that base capture. Looks like they're going to possibly finish it off. But even with the base capture at the end, there's still an absolutely excellent replay there from Big Nathaniel 1998, picking up a monster 3,000 points of damage and a light tank. So absolutely awesome replay from you. Thank you very much for sending that one in. Don't forget, guys, if you've got yourself a good replay, then please send that in to replay@screenreality.com. Link for that is in the description. If you enjoyed this video, found it useful or informative, or just found it entertaining, then don't forget to leave me a like, favourite, and stick a comment in the comment section below. And if you're not already, then definitely consider hitting that subscribe button for more content like this in the future. I have been Maxwell, this has been World of Tanks, and I will catch you guys next time.